絆をつないで遥かな時を超えて巡り合う奇跡のエナジー描いてた未来よりも驚きの連続を見つけよう君と Get the girlie、yeah、どんな困難が待ち受けていても絶対超えていけるそんな風に思えるんだ大切なこの世界と仲間のために叫って今コンストラクション勇気をくれた君を守る自分の力信じて何度でもトライしよう大事なのはいつもアクション決して逃げたりはしないと勇気と共に駆け抜けようこの広い世界の中で
What's up, guys? I'm Deepcut, your YouTube. Welcome back to Cartoon Universe. Today we are going to be talking about Season 6 of Steven Universe, what we know so far, which isn't a lot, what little hints have been leaking out from the cast and crew, and a whole lot of our own speculation. But before we dive into that, I want to talk about our Patreon page. YouTube can be a very tricky business, and it's hard to support yourself on here without help from other platforms. By pledging a certain amount of money each month, whatever you feel comfortable with, you're not just helping us make more content, you're helping us make better content. There are a lot of perks that you can get out of this as well. I'll put the link in the description so that you can see them all, but some of them include having your name listed in our Patreon supporters, such as at the bottom of this video, as well as early access to some of our materials, including this video. You could have been watching this yesterday, so go to our Patreon, check it out, and see what you can do to help. And now, let's dive into it. The main reason I included Pink Steven in this new opening theme that we worked on is that I really feel like he's going to be an important part of the show going forward, at the very least on a metaphorical level. Pink Steven was really just about revealing that Steven was himself all along. He wasn't his mother, he wasn't his mother's influences, he was his own personality, and all that she gave him was a life force. I imagine after everything that happened, Steven's going to have a lot of trauma that he's going to need to work through, and Season 6 will now be about discovering who he is now that he knows that he is only and entirely himself. One of the reasons I changed his shirt from that orangish-reddish to this bluish-greenish color is I feel like that would be an important part of his self-discovery. While I think this shirt is a little too iconic for them to actually change within the show, and wouldn't really make sense considering we do know where he gets his shirts from and they were all the same color, I do believe that Steven will go through a little bit of a self-discovery process where he tries to reimagine himself to some degree, perhaps changing up colors, clothes, and style. In a taped conversation with a fan at a convention, Zach Callison stated that the arc that Steven starts to go through following the movie is really something he resonated with on a personal level, and he says that his real-life journey and Steven's journey within the show really become almost one and the same. For those who don't know, Zach Callison has been going through a little bit of a tough time in his life. We don't know all the details, but we do know that there has been a lot of self-discovery along the way, with him experimenting with different styles, different lifestyles, and just trying to figure out who he is as a person in dealing with mental health. It's safe to say that Steven will have a similar journey. After all, everything that's happened was very crazy, and now that the dust has settled, he's going to need to take the time to figure out exactly who he is and what he's doing with his life. I think an important part of Season 6 is going to be the secondary characters figuring out where they belong now. Lapis and Peridot didn't necessarily hate Homeworld, but they had to stay with Earth because of some extenuating circumstances. They've accepted Earth as their home, but now that there is harmony between Homeworld and Earth, will they go back? They can't go to the meme barn again. Perhaps they'll be living in a big, souped-up house that Bismuth made so they can all live together. Only time will tell. The episodes are only 11 minutes long, and it seems like it's going to continue to be that way in Season 6. And having a large cast of characters that you have to address in just 11 minutes is pretty difficult, which is why the show never really expanded beyond our basic cast. On top of that, the larger the cast, the more they have to pay voice actors per episode, and some of the actors are from well-known hit shows such as Orange is the New Black and are probably going to be too expensive to keep in the cast in every single episode, such as Bismuth. So figuring out what they do with these characters, whether they live with Steven or somewhere else, is going to be a very interesting and important part of the show. Then of course we do have the Diamonds. They of course will probably stay on Homeworld for the most part, but we expect to see them coming back. Steven's going to need to develop his relationship, particularly with Yellow and White. He seems pretty close with Blue, all things considered, but he hasn't really had a chance to just be friendly and bond with Yellow and White yet. Now, I don't actually think we're going to be seeing Black Diamond in the show. It was just something fun I could put in as a villain placeholder. I do think we're going to get a new villain, hopefully something that helps explain the origins of the Diamonds or why they're constantly trying to conquer planets, maybe even Sneeple. However, I do think the Diamonds are still going to be a central part of the conflict going forward. While they may have made peace with Steven and the Earth, that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to stop conquering planets outright, and there's going to be a lot of debate about that between Steven, the Crystal Gems, and the Diamonds. Also, I don't imagine that the hierarchy on Homeworld is going to change. Steven would want everyone to be free to do whatever they want, but White Diamond's probably not going to let her Pearl go anytime soon, as well as the other Diamonds. And what about the Pearls who don't want to be free? It's going to be really interesting to see how they restructure Homeworld, if at all, and if not, how Steven and the gang react to it. We've been waiting pretty much an entire season to see the return of Lars. However, his appearance was really shoved into the last few minutes of the finale, and we didn't really get to see how he was going to adjust to life on Earth now that he's pink, immortal, has traveled the entire cosmos, and has 4 very strange friends that he needs to help take care of. I don't imagine he's going to go back to working at the donut shop, especially since Sadie isn't there. How is their relationship going to play out? What about the relationship with his parents? Are they just going to brush all this under the rug and make it look like he just has 4 new roommates living at his house and everything's just back to normal? I really hope not, but there's a lot of different directions they could go, and it'll be interesting to see what their plan is for these characters. I actually believe we're going to see a lot less of Rose and Pink Diamond going forward. The first 5 seasons were greatly focused on unraveling the mysteries of the past, and now that they have, I'm sure they could fill in a lot of the blanks for us, and there'd be plenty more flashbacks they could use, but it makes more sense for the show to focus on what is the future. However, if there's one character I think who will still be stuck in the past, it's going to be Pearl. She was in love with Rose and Pink Diamond, and I think she's going to have a lot more work going forward dealing with everything that's happened and losing her love. Now that the Earth is safe, the Diamond Authority is on their side, what is she going to do with her life? Steven's also becoming older and more mature and doesn't need Pearl looking after him every single day. It's hard to say what Pearl's destiny is at this moment, but I'm sure Season 6 is going to explore the question. Then of course there is everyone's favorite cheese puff, Jasper. Where is Jasper going? She could of course go back to working for Yellow Diamond, however she has a very strong and fierce loyalty to Pink Diamond as we've seen in the past. Is it possible that Steven's gonna walk out of his house one day and just see Jasper there doing the diamond salute, ready to serve Steven? The whole episode could just be him walking down the boardwalk or adventuring through Beach City with Jasper following him around everywhere, threatening and looking menacing to anyone who gets close to Steven. It would be hilarious, but would also leave room for a very serious turn for the plot. Jasper probably has a lot of baggage over what's happened. She loved Pink Diamond, but Pink Diamond essentially betrayed her and the entire colony. So is Jasper going to have issues with that? Is she going to make peace with Steven? Is she maybe going to turn to a villain when Steven pushes her away because he doesn't need a bodyguard or a soldier or a servant? It's hard to say what will happen, but there's a lot of different steps they could take, assuming the show doesn't just focus entirely on townie episodes. Well guys, that has been all of my thoughts and speculations on Season 6 of Steven Universe so far. I'm very curious to think what you guys all think. Are we going to be seeing a lot more character-driven, lore-driven episodes, or are we going to be stuck with a lot of townies? Are we going to see the corrupted gems get integrated in with Beach City? Are we going to see a war between the planets and the diamonds and the humans, or are things just going to be very mild with a focus on, you know, the week-to-week adventures of Steven and friends? Will we get a new villain? I want to know all the ideas you guys have, so put them in the comments down below. For those interested, there is an alternate version of this opening on my channel. It even has a few different clips, some of which you might have seen on the side here or there. But just we'll link down to my channel down below. Don't forget to follow Hailey and MYKAL on Twitter. Join us in the Discord channel. There's always a good time going on there. And have a great day.